Hi guys, this is going to be the tutorial that's going to show you how to make this twisted loop scarf. And for this tutorial, you're going to need a 5mm hook or a size H hook and at least 2 skeins of yarn. And you can have at least 1 skein to make the scarf itself, and then you can change colors every time. So if that's what you want to do, then you need to get several different colors. But you at least need 2 skeins to finish the project. So there's different ways that you can do the ruffles themselves. Now, for this one, I used variegated yarn. What I did was I made my base first, and then once I made the scarf itself, then I went through using my variegated yarn, and I would skip, like, because my yarn would become the same color like here, you see. So I tried my best to prevent this from happening as much as possible. So I would have to go up here, and then I would come back down here just to kind of keep the colors mixed. But I'll show you some pictures of different ways that you can do it. You can make your scarf all one color and then make your ruffles another color. Or you can make your scarf one color for like the first 2 rows and then change color and then go back to the original color again, and then you can variegate your colors of your ruffles as you go throughout your scarf. And that's it. This one is made for an adult because these twisted loops are pretty heavy, and doing all 4 of these like I did on both sides really makes it thick and heavy. So if you're making this for a kid, I would recommend skipping one, like do ruffle, the first ruffle, and then skip the next line of ruffles and just do the next. So every other one, and you can make it as thick as you want. But I recommend leaving the last row of double crochets and the first row of double crochets alone. That way you have a nice border on each side. And you feel free to add in another border on either side too, if you want. And I'll show you a picture of my daughter who is modeling this scarf before I added the extra row. So what you want to do, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. There's other ways that you can do it, but I just want to show you the easiest way. First, you want to get your yarn, and I recommend if you like kind of long scarves, that you chain 150. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to show you a little swatch here. So what you want to do is, once you have your chain of 150, you want to skip these first 2 stitches, and then the 3rd stitch from the hook, you want to put a double crochet. And then you want to put a double crochet in each stitch down the chain. And this chain 2 at the end. So continue to double crochet in each stitch on your chain, and I'll see you back here in a moment. Now when you get to the end of your row, you want to chain 1 and turn. Now for me, I prefer to just elongate my my loop, and then double crochet right back into that first stitch. And then again, you want to double crochet going under both loops, the front and the back loop. Go through the full stitch and do a double crochet in each stitch. And you can make it as thick as you want or as thin as you want. Like I said, I recommend that you leave at least 1 row at the beginning and 1 row at the end of the scarf. This one here I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. So I did 6 rows, and that allowed me 4 rows of ruffles with my 2 end undone for my border. So you could do 6, or you could do 5 and have only 3 rows of ruffles. It's up to you. You can make it as thick or as thin as you want. So you want to continue to do this back and forth, and every time you get to the end of the row, you just want to chain 1 and turn and pull up your loop, and then you'll want to double crochet right back into that same stitch. So continue to do that and make your scarf as thick as you want, and I'll see you back here for the next step. Okay, once you have your scarf the thickness that you like, and I did 4 rows, the top will be my border up here, and the bottom row will be my border down here, which gives me 2 rows here to put ruffles. And like I said, you can put different color here, make it as thick as you want. It's up to you. But when you've got it the size that you want, go ahead and chain 1, and I'm going to cut my yarn, leaving my tail long enough to be worked in with a tapestry needle. When you first start your project, you may want to do the same thing. Leave it long enough to be worked in with a tapestry needle. But if you did like I did, and you cut it too short, a trick is you can go ahead and put your needle in first, down the stitches that you want to hide it in, like that, and then thread your little tail, thread it through like that, then grab the end of your needle, and then just pull the tail, twist in line. Pull your tail through your work like that. And you can just pull it back through like this, and your tail is hidden. But it's just easier if you just leave yourself tail to be worked in. So choose your color that you want to use, which I think I'm going to go with this yellow here, just because it shows up on camera and it's a good contrast with the blue, so you can see what I'm doing. Grab your 5mm hook again. And again, you can leave yourself a bit of a tail before starting your loop. Makes it easier to be worked in later. And what you do is you go through the post. So I'm going to grab up the post. This is my chain 1, and then I pulled up when I ended a row. So I'm not going to count this one. I'm going to go right in, grab up that first post that I did, and I'm going to slip stitch my color on like that. And then what you want to do is chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Once you've got your chain of 7, you want to go in using the next post and do a slip stitch. And then again, you'll be repeating this for all the row. Chain 7 again. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then you want to go and grab the next post and slip stitch. And you just repeat this. Chain 7 again, 6 and 7, and then you just go to the next post and slip stitch. So repeat this for all the way to the end, and you get this nice ruffle going. Now when you get to the end, I don't like to do the very last double crochet of the row. I like to just leave it as a border. So what I'm going to do after my last slip stitch, after my last little loop here, is I'm going to chain 1, then I'm going to cut my yarn. And again, I'll work those in later, or you can leave the sides on for fringe if you like. Have fringe on this side, fringe on this side. But you'd have to add more fringe for this color if you wanted, because just having one every so often would look kind of weird. Anyway, at this point, you can change colors. You can use another color for the next ruffle. It's entirely up to you. And you just want to attach, again, not using the first one, not using the first double crochet of the row, going right into the post of the second and attaching your yarn. And then chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again, going into the next post and continuing to do just like you did the row below it. This is my last double crochet of my row, and this is my step up. I'm going to leave those both alone. And this is the last double crochet I'm going to be using of the row. So I'm going to chain 1 and yarn. Now, once you've got all your ruffles done for one side, flip it over. As you can see, it looks pretty like this. So if you want to leave it like this, go ahead. But if you want to add ruffles on this side as well, I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so an idea also, if you want to make a reversible scarf, you want to make your ruffles all one color, and then on the other side, you can add another color. So it can be a reversible scarf. So what you want to do is, you see all these loops on the other side here that are in yellow? You want to go above each of those loops, each of these attachments here. You want to go above. So you want to grab the post as you would normally do, but just make sure that you're above that connection from the other side. And again, you're going to slip stitch your color on and chain 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And again, you're going to go using the post again, but you're going to be on the above side of this other stitch, because that way it's going to hide it. Because as you can see here, they're pretty kind of tight together. So I'm hoping that on this side it'll blend in and you won't see it as well because it's under the loops that you're making now. That's why I've decided to do it this way. So you're going to be doing exactly what you did on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Going above those stitches. And continue to make your loops as normal. And when you get to the end, start again, going into the post above the stitch. Now once you've got both sides done, however you wanted to ruffle it, you want to go ahead and hide your tails. I'm going to go ahead and just go through my stitches, my double crochets here, and trying to stay within the same color. And get all your tails hidden. And then you might have noticed that the chain part of your scarf is a bit tighter, and your whole scarf will kind of start to do that because this is a much looser side than this side. So to fix this, so you want to go ahead and use the same color that you used for the base of your scarf. Again, I'm going to leave myself a bit of a tail here to be worked in later. and you're going to attach it. Pull up a loop like this, and then single crochet in the first stitch. Now in the second stitch, you're going to pull up a loop, then you're going to go right back into the third stitch and pull up a loop. Then you're going to pull through all 3 loops to do a single crochet decrease. And then the next stitch will be a single crochet, and then the next stitch will be a single crochet decrease. You're going to be alternating between single crochet, decrease, single crochet, decrease. And you're going to do that all down the top of your scarf. And at the end, the pull here should be exactly the same here. And it'll make it look all nice and even. Now, if you're using variegated yarn, like I was using variegated yarn, you could, when you start to make your loops, you could go back through here, then chain 1, and come up here and turn, and then do your loops this way if you want. You can go back and forth in a zigzag, but I think that it looks neater if you just start each row. Makes it a nice separation in between each of them. So even with my variegated, I didn't do it. So that's it. That's how you make the twisted loop scarf. And feel free to mess around with the colors, mess around with the thickness of the scarf, and everything else. So anyway, that's the tutorial. I hope that you like it, and I hope your scarves come out all nice and soft and warm. Thanks so much for watching this tutorial. Please don't forget to like this video, and please don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.